The IMF Annual Meeting Report on SK Newsline is brought to you by the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank and Hope Economics.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your National Bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
I'm in Washington, D.C. at the International Monetary Fund headquarters for the IMF and World Bank annual meetings. I'm Andre Huey for SK Newsline, and this report is brought to you by the kind courtesy of St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank and Hope Economics. Well, as we are coming to the close of these meetings, the Caribbean leaders that are here to discuss quite a number of issues. Of course, climate financing is one of them, but one of the big issues that they're here to discuss is delisting and blacklisting. A number of Caribbean countries from time to time have been blacklisted as being tax havens by countries in the OECD, particularly developed countries that would blacklist the countries in the Caribbean. Now, the Caribbean countries, the leaders, are kicking up a storm against this because they believe that these blacklistings are unfair to Caribbean countries when there are other countries around the world that have that are even bigger tax havens than those in the Caribbean, and they're not facing the same pressure that small countries in the region are facing. We spoke to the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank about this, as well as the Minister of Finance from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Camilo Gonzalez. Now, both of them have basically indicated that there is a tinge of possibly classism, racism, however you want to describe it, in the way this matter is being treated and the way Caribbean countries are being dealt with. This was raised at the IMF annual meetings this week by both the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank and, of course, Mr. Gonzalez in the interview we had with him. Here are comments from both representatives.
That was not discussed today, but it's an irrefutable fact that most of the countries that are being blacklisted happen to be African descent. I don't think there's any question about that. I would leave you to conclude on why that is so, but that's a fact. And it is a very vexing issue for our region, but it was not discussed particularly today because, like I said, inflation was really the focus. Inflation and climate, I would say those were the two main issues that we've discussed for the last 2 days.
The blacklist, as it currently stands, objectively, is a list of non-white countries with limited power, either in terms of population or in terms of wealth or in terms of military. And the history of blacklists and the use of blacklists, both by the United States and the European Union, has been a history of leveraging that power against the powerless, and historically against countries that are non-white. And there's no two ways about that. That's a factual statement.
So you heard it there from the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank and the Minister of Finance from St. Vincent and the Grenadines speaking on the issue of delisting and blacklisting. Of course, we'll continue to monitor this as we go along. Coming to you from Washington, D.C. at the IMF headquarters for SK Newsline, I'm Andre Huey.